back to Gay Fat Friend and Friends, the podcast. The podcast for party people. Party people, party people. How's everybody doing out there? I hope you guys are having a great week. I know I am. We're actually recording on Friday this week. Good Friday, if you will, if you're a Kathy. And recording on Friday because we have plans on Easter. We're going to day drink. We're going to go out to the neighborhood and do some day drinking with my bestie John. I'm very excited. I have not been around gay people that aren't Rob for so long. I feel like I'm about to lose my gay card. But yeah, I'm feeling great. Last night, Thursday night, I did enjoy a bottle of Cabernet by myself. I had a Coppola Cabernet, which I know it gets a lot of shit. People say it's not like the best wine, but it's just expensive. I've loved every Coppola wine I've ever had. And it is a really delicious Cabernet Sauvignon. I don't really drink a lot of red. I'm currently watching this show called The Gentleman on Netflix that is written and directed by Guy Ritchie. It's so good. It's like the gangster English thing I needed right now. And red wine is a big storyline in that show. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to open that bottle of Coppola. And it was delicious and it was worth it. And of course I drank the whole thing because I don't know how people don't drink entire bottles of wine when they open them, unless it's like the third of the night. I've definitely left a half a bottle in the fridge after enjoying two. I might have a problem. But yeah, I enjoy wine and I enjoyed it last night. I'm a little hungover, but you know what? It was worth it. It was worth it because I'm dieting right now. I've been really good. I'm on track. I'm doing everything I want. And even though they've done studies to disprove it, I still think that red wine is good for you, and white wine and vodka and gin and sometimes whiskey if you're sick. I believe in the healing powers of alcohol, and you can't tell me any different. Okay? So while I am a bit hungover today, I'm feeling good and looking great. I do have some housekeeping. Housekeeping, everybody's favorite segment, housekeeping from last episode. Rob and I were talking about sushi. If you listen to the episode, we talked about his journey, his sojourn in Japan. And we opened it up by talking about sushi and poke. And I said, it's so gross to be full of sushi. Never got to finish that thought. What I was saying, what I meant was, it's just so gross to eat a ton of sushi. And I feel like a lot of places that people get sushi from, it's all you can eat. And so getting all you can eat sushi or just a giant bowl of poke and eating all of that raw fish and just being full of sushi and then realizing that it's raw fish in your stomach, it's just a bummer of a feeling, you know, and it kind of ruins the meal. It's not like when you get full on Thanksgiving and you're comfy, cozy, full of turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes and stuffing. And you're like, I'm going to take a nap. But when you get full of sushi, it's such a creepy feeling. And I keep doing it. I keep over imbibing on sushi and I'll do it forever. But every time I get full of sushi, I'm just like, I feel like a dolphin, you know, I feel like a whale. I'm just full of all this raw fish and seaweed paper and it's not a great feeling. So that's what I meant last week when I was saying that being full of sushi is gross because you're just full of raw fish and, not really, unless you like live at SeaWorld, it's not really something you want to be if you think about it. All right, so that's it for housekeeping. The thing I wanted to talk about this week, two things actually. One, I recently lost, not like to death, but to mental illness. I am no longer friends with a person this week. And it's a person that I thought I was close with, a person that I thought I had a great friendship with. But he misinterpreted some things I said on the internet and then completely overreacted and then came out of nowhere with all this other stuff, pretty much just like trauma dumping on me for something I said about something completely different. Does that make sense? I'm trying to keep it vague because I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill, but yeah, he kind of unloaded on me all this stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, we are friends. Why are you, for lack of a better term, why are you trolling me right now on Threads and on Instagram? We are friends. This is not friendship behavior. And I told him, I flat out said, like, usually when I deal with like a troll, like if it's a stranger, I'll shut him down, cuss him out, make him feel stupid. But he was a friend. And so I said, hey, please do not talk to me like this. This is weird and it's making me uncomfortable. And this has nothing to do with what I said. You're putting words in my mouth and changing the subject and making a thing that is not a thing. And the thing about that is, can I say thing more? The thing about that is like, he's the type of person that does this, and I've always known that. And so it's one of those things, like in a friendship, it's probably going to happen to you, but they're a great person, and you want to be in their life. You want to be friends with them. You want to uplift them, but you kind of, in the back of your head, just remember, or you kind of just, think about it in the back of your head, like, one day he's going to turn on me. And it happened. And it's hard to deal with, especially in your 40s. I'm 43, and it's so weird to have like drama. No, I take it back. It's not drama, because I didn't do anything, and it's not like it was gossipy or anything. Like, he struggles with mental health issues, and he is, which a lot of gay men are going through right now. They're aging alone, and it's really getting to some people. And so it's hard for people to age, and then B, it's hard to age alone. That he's never had a partner. He still has roommates, lives in an apartment. There is literally nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with having roommates at any age. I'm not talking shit about that at all, but I'm just describing the situation that a lot of men go through, where they never find a partner. It just doesn't work out for them for various reasons. And they kind of lean into this, I don't know, catty drama, weird very small sector of the gay community. And it kind of just turns into this mental health thing where they're paranoid, and they think everybody's out to get them, and they think all this stuff. And so, I forget that happens. And it's just so weird to deal with, especially as an adult, especially multiple cities away. He's in LA, I'm in Seattle. I have not seen him in years, but we talk online, and he's always been so supportive. And like, I truly thought we were really good friends, and this just came out of nowhere, and it's just weird. That's all I can say. It's just weird. And I'm just kind of processing that right now of, wow, didn't think at 43 I would be losing a friend like this. And especially in a time here in Seattle where I joke about it, but it's true. I don't have that many friends. I can count the people I call a friend in Seattle on one hand. So it's just weird to lose a friend in another city that I haven't really talked to in a while, other than Instagram. And for that to just happen, it was, it was unfortunate. And like I said, I'm processing it still. So losing a friend as an adult is weird. The other thing I wanted to talk about before I get little Robbie Man out here to finish the episode is Beyonce just released a new album today. And you guys, I don't know if I like it. I'm not going to say I don't like it yet. I've only listened to it once. But I think what it is, I'm not the biggest country fan. Like, obviously I'm obsessed with Taylor, but I've never really considered Taylor country. I love the Chicks. There's a lot of country I like, but when people are like, do you like country? I never really go, yes, does that make sense? But so when Beyonce said she was doing a country album, I was like, I don't know. And then the songs came out, and I didn't really get excited about either of the songs, because it's just not what I like. It's just, I was like, this isn't what I want. And I think the reason I'm not connecting with this album is because Renaissance, her last album, was so good. Truly felt like one of those once in a lifetime albums that was like made for your people, because as you may or may not know, being gay is my favorite thing on the planet. I love being a gay man and being in the gay community more than anything. I think gay people are the best people. I love our culture. I love our history. We've had some really good history and some really bad history, but we've stayed together as a community and a family. And I just love our culture. I love being gay. And Renaissance was such a love letter to our community. It was so gay and trans and queer and liberated and referential. And it was just, I literally burned a hole in it, via streaming. If it was a CD, I would have had to have replaced the CD. I listened to it so much that year. Constantly. It was, I think, my number 2 listened to album that year. And I was just obsessed. It was so good. And so I think, not that this had to live up to that, but I was kind of hoping for more of that. And this new album, Cowboy Carter, it's just not hitting for me. Also, it's kind of getting to the point where, because it was so big on Renaissance and she's done it in the past, it's kind of becoming a thing that Beyonce is sampling and referencing all the time. And it almost feels like I don't know, Moby or Fatboy Slim of the 90s. Like, I feel like every single Beyonce track now is a reference, a sample, a cover, and she's kind of turning into like a DJ, for lack of a better word. And these are just my like boring old thoughts. I mean nothing. I have nothing in the conversation of Beyonce. And also, I don't want to ever say that this album is bad. This album is good. It is written and produced so amazingly. And the craftsmanship, astrophysicist, the craftsmanship that went into this album is top shelf. And so I don't want to ever say that it's a bad album. It's just not for me. And I think we need to start saying that more as a culture. Stop saying things are bad and start saying things aren't for you. And this album just isn't for me yet. I might get into it. I'm going to give it a couple more listens. I'm going to give it a try, but it's just not connecting because, like I said, Renaissance was so good. I loved Renaissance so much. So I think what I'm going to do is probably just go back and get back into Renaissance and try to, I think I might play Renaissance and then go into Cowboy Carter and see if it kind of continues the story for me and see if I can connect that way. Because, yeah, like I said, sorry, I didn't finish my thought. She's referencing so much and it's starting to feel a little, I don't want to say forced, but it's becoming her shtick, that it's all references and samples and covers. It's almost like, if you watched Drag Race a couple seasons ago, there was a queen named Lux Noir London who pretty much referenced RuPaul constantly and the show, because Lux is a huge fan of RuPaul's Drag Race. So Lux would quote the show, do, hardcore trivia, like incorporate hardcore trivia into her looks and into her one-liners and stuff. And while that was really great and fun, it kind of, by the end of the series, was like, all you're doing is referencing RuPaul and all you're doing is referencing the show. And it almost feels like you don't have your own voice. And that's kind of what it's starting to feel like with Beyonce. A little bit. Just a little bit. Don't come for me, okay? Protecting my throat. Do not come for me. I love Beyonce so much. She has earned her placement as one of the biggest stars in the world of all time. Like, Beyonce will be remembered forever because she is one of the greats. I'm just saying my tiny little opinion, and that's what it is. It's just an opinion. It's not even a critique. It's an opinion about this album, is that I'm not connecting to it. And it's no skin off Beyonce's back. Like, everyone loves it. It's doing really well. And the opinion of, a little gay old nobody in Seattle is not really going to affect Beyonce's life in any direction. So, yeah, but if you're connecting with it, or if you love this album, if you like it more than Renaissance, just let me know why. Because I would love to, if there's things you think I missed, I would love to know what I'm missing, because like I said, I do love all the gay references that happen in Renaissance. And so maybe I can get on board with the country references that happen in Cowboy Carter. All right. Well, I think that's enough on me by myself. I think it's time to move on to the rest of the show with my beautiful little co-host, Little Robbie Man. And without further ado, here he is. It's Rob. Yay!
Hi, here I am. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Swell.
How's your Friday go? I told them we're recording on Friday.
I know, it's weird, right?
Are you having a good Friday?
It is Good Friday, technically, yes, right?
Yeah. Which
Or
I
literally?
think in the lore, I never know. Again, I've said on this podcast before, I'll never understand football. I'll also never understand Jesus' story. So he died today, right?
Yes.
He's been on the cross all week.
Was he up there multiple days?
Yeah.
Oh.
It took like 3 days for him to die.
See, now this is the part where I'm going to wander into like getting bad comments
I believe
because I just literally don't know this stuff.
Was Ash Wednesday 2 days ago? Isn't it Ash Wednesday, Good Friday? Why do they call it Good Friday if this is the day he died? That seems problematic.
It's like, have you heard the good news? I don't know. This seems like dangerous territory to wander into. I don't know.
Really? Everything about you screams Christian.
Yeah, right? Not my world.
But okay, so it's Good Friday. I think Jesus died today, because then I think he comes back to life on
Or he was
Sunday.
put into the cave today.
Oh, is that what it is?
Maybe it's just he's interred.
Dead. He died and then interred today.
But I didn't realize he was on the cross multiple days. So, like, how was I supposed to know if there were other days that happened between things?
Yeah, that's why it's such a tragic tale, because he hung up there for so long because his body just wouldn't die. Poor guy.
This is a weird place that I did not think we were going to go.
Anyway, happy Easter and happy Good Friday, the day we're recording on.
To all those that do observe.
There you go.
and know the story.
He is risen. But yeah, so I think we should talk about the experience we had. So we had a really funny experience at Chipotle, and I don't think I ever put Chipotle in the box. Have I talked about Chipotle? I didn't say my Chipotle order, did I?
I don't think so.
I have to refill the box soon, so we'll add Chipotle to the box, and we can do our orders for that once it gets re-upped. But so we have a Chipotle near our house. It opened last summer, and Chipotle is one of our favorite restaurants. Like we've said before, we ate it so much in LA because we're literally like less than 5 blocks from 2, so we could get delivery during the pandemic. We would like walk down to the Chipotle at the Grove. We ate a lot of Chipotle.
There's a consistency, you know, like you know what you're getting.
Yeah, that's the thing. Chipotle's the same literally everywhere.
Yeah.
So when we moved up here, we first lived in Kirkland before we live in our neighborhood that we live in now. And we were like, there's a Chipotle by our apartment. Like life is going to be okay when we get to Seattle.
Yeah.
Well, then we left Kirkland and we moved over here. There are like no Chipotles in Seattle. There was one in the city, kind of over by the Space Needle, not close to us at all. So when we moved into this house, we kind of cut Chipotle out of our lives because it was hard to get.
Delivery was like a 45 to an hour long affair.
Delivery in the city sucks for anything, but especially our neighborhood.
Unbelievably expensive. And of course, the problem when you start getting Chipotle delivery is that's when you start getting like really weird portions. Yeah. And so
like an entire bowl of guacamole, which you're like, thank you.
Yeah.
But why did you do 2.5 scoops of guac? That's too much.
Yeah. So like that's when you start to get just like whatever they happen to have. So yeah, delivery's hard. Because it is nice. Like one of the really nice things about Chipotle is it's like Subway. You get to watch them make it, and that's part of the appeal. I feel.
Like we did a ton of Chipotle delivery during the pandemic because it was the pandemic.
That's
but also,
what you do.
Like
had to.
All the Chipotles, especially in LA, it was all delivery only for a long time, and so they kind of got it down to a system of the quality of the bowls that were going out were really good, and so you didn't really need to watch it be made at that time.
Yeah, when the option was that or nothing, you take what you can get. But now, if it's like, oh, I can watch them make it, or I can order ahead and pick it up, I'd rather still watch them make it.
I love me some mobile ordering. I prefer mobile ordering over anything except at Chipotle.
Yeah,
I want to do it myself. I want to like be a old stepdad, and I want to put my hand over the sneeze guard and point at the trays. I don't know why I do that. Why do I do that?
Meanwhile, I'm like stepping away from the sneeze guard like it's going to hurt me. Not that I could get to the top of it anyway. That's not a world that I know.
And I don't do it at Subway, which is the exact same setup. I don't point at the sneeze guard. I don't reach over the sneeze guard to point at things. But at Chipotle, I'm like, I'll take chicken, and I like reach over and point down at the chicken. Why? It's like being a dumb white guy is just genetic. You know, like we all just do the same thing. But yeah, so anyway, they opened a Chipotle last summer, and you can tell that we're in our 40s because we were very excited. Like, we were very excited.
Just big news.
To have a Chipotle near the home, you guys, is such a treat.
Like, and we were literally like driving by to be like, how far along is the construction? Like, there was a sign in the window that they were hiring, and we were like, oh, they're getting there. It's
they listed it on Google Maps as a location 6 months before it opened.
Yeah, it was so early.
Yeah, one day, I forget what I was looking for, but I don't think it was a Chipotle, but I was looking on the map and I saw in the shopping center Chipotle pop up, and I was like, what the hell? We were just there. There's no Chipotle there. And so then we drove down and we saw the like lease sign. It was like future Chipotle. And then it took 6 months for it to finally open. We checked it every week probably.
Oh yeah. No, like I was taking special trips just to sort of drive by and see how it was going.
But it's nice. It's a really efficient brand new Chipotle. They have like a dedicated takeout line.
And a takeout window.
And a window, yeah. Like, so you can just like walk up and press a doorbell.
Yeah, for pickups.
It's like a drive-through window, but for walking. You guys understand the concept of walk-up windows. I love that I'm just like, everybody is in a senior home, apparently. I need to explain everything about life. Why do I go into so much detail?
Well, I felt like the thing that was worth clarifying is you cannot order at that walk-up window. You can
Correct,
only
it's
pick up there.
Only.
Like it is for basically delivery drivers and pickups.
And they get mad if you don't use the window. We saw it last week.
Yeah, they're like, there is a window you can use.
She's like, there's a doorbell and a window. You should just wait out there. We're like, oh.
Well, those people crowd the register and just kind of weird everybody out.
Yeah. But the other thing is, it always rains in Seattle, so people don't want to stand outside. It's always DoorDash drivers. They're always like inside looking at their phones waiting to pick up.
And of course, if anybody's running late, then you're just going to be like, well, I'm going to go inside and wait.
Yeah. So. But anyway, so brand new, beautiful, efficient Chipotle. We love it a lot. And it's been pretty great, I would say.
Yeah.
We haven't had much problems. It gets really slammed because, like I said, no Chipotle's in Seattle. So sometimes it's like a whole school field trip bus will drop off and just clear out all of their food.
Or a cruise ship. Like
Yes.
like a lot of like crew of the cruise ship will like all go there for a break or whatever. And
Seattle's
it's
a big cruise ship town. I don't know if people know that, but it's like a main port where cruises leave and drop off.
and this is right by one of those ports. Like it's super close, like walkable. And so I think that, but also I do think that this Chipotle might be a training Chipotle. I think there's a lot of people who are training and then going off to other stores. So I think, like it could be very hit or miss, but we've had very good luck with the staff.
Or they're just, it's because they're all high school kids and high school kids just quit jobs.
Turnover is what it is.
I feel like there's always new people and they're always training.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've only had, I'd say, a handful of like terrible experiences there.
No, it's been really
nice. For
the most part pretty good.
And there's a manager there who, I don't want to say flamboyant because I don't think we use that word anymore. We thought he was family, quote unquote family. We thought he was gay. Tattoos, very well kept, groomingly. Is that a word?
Yeah, no, I mean he has a like, yeah, I mean
he's got a bit of a cunty haircut.
Yeah, I was going to say like he has a statement hairdo, lots of tattoos, and he has a little bit of a voice effect to him, but also I think he's a highly excitable man.
Yeah,
and,
high energy.
And honestly, and like I think that's a thing that is often seen as not ultra masculine, is this sort of like excitability, and like that, and that's unfortunate, I think, but like it is a thing where like we immediately, I think we're kind of just making some assumptions just based on how personable and friendly
he has a high
was.
Energy chatty Cathy-ness about him.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I mean, we go like 2-3 times a week. We're in there a lot.
Yeah, frequently enough.
He does not know our names and we don't know his name, which we should probably clear that up. We should finally get his name because he talks to us like we've known each other for decades.
What are you up to today?
Yeah. Did you guys have a great day? What's going on? What are you guys doing this weekend? How are the kids?
What video game are you playing right now? It's like,
yeah.
So yeah. Like just small talk, which is cool.
Yeah, he saw Rob was wearing a video game shirt and he was like, "Oh, are you playing that? What are you playing?"
Yeah, what are you playing right now?
And Rob also very chatty Cathy. Rob's never met a stranger.
Well, I don't want to be rude when somebody asks me a question, and
it's hard for Rob to be like, "Oh, fine." Like if Rob has an answer, he's gonna give you his answer.
There's a yes and usually, or even worse, there is a or in my stuff because like one of the quick tangent, but one of the ultimate sort of stories, and this is a thing that he mentions. He'll ask me this question all the time when I start wandering into this territory. When I was in college, I was one of the people that lived closer, like my original home was closer to the dorms than a lot of people. So I was able to kind of go home and swap out a lot of my possessions for other stuff. So I was able to kind of bring a little piece of home with me all the time. So I had a large DVD collection in my dorms with me. And so I had a lot of movies. And one of my dorm floor mates walked over, a friend of mine, and he was like, "Hey Rob, do you have Gone with the Wind that I could borrow?" And I literally said, I was like, "The book or the movie?" And he goes, "Oh, the movie." I was like, "Oh no, I don't have that." And he goes, "Well, the book then?" And I was like, No, I don't have that either." And he literally looked at me. He's like, "Why did you give me this option?" And it's funny because it had never crossed my path, never crossed my mind. But that is 100% just how my brain works. I want to know specifically what you're asking for.
He wanted to know the information of the story.
Yeah, I wanted to know
to know it.
I wanted to know specifically what he needed, even though I could not help him in any way.
You had neither.
I couldn't even give him a synopsis of Gone with the Wind because I have actually never seen that movie or read the book. Like I am 100% useless, and I don't know why I continued that conversation with him.
But it wasn't an accident. You were genuine. You wanted to know book or movie.
I genuinely wanted to help him, but I couldn't in any way, really.
Also, it's not like you knew that like Jennifer down the hall had the movie.
I could not have directed him to someone who had either one.
Yeah,
either.
you had no answers.
Like
past
I was
book
useless.
Or movie.
But I was trying to be helpful, but like all I did was waste his time and mine.
And we've turned it into a phrase in our relationship
all the time.
Did we make it a verb? I don't like. Rob will start doing things. I'll be like, "Book or movie, Rob? Book or movie?
Book or the movie."
You're dipping into that territory.
Yeah, it's like you're starting to split hairs when like you may not even need to be talking.
You just book or movied me, and you didn't have an answer to either of the things I needed.
Yeah, but thank you for like burrowing deeper into the unknown.
But no, it's good to be educated. It's good to have all the answers. It's nice to be smart. That's why we love you.
But yeah, no, I can't help but yes or just kind of ask a little bit more.
So this manager, who we love, by the way, by the time we get to the end of the story, we don't ever want to say that we don't like this man.
Yeah, this is in no way casting
making
dispersions
fun of him,
in any way. No.
Yeah, no.
Like
we love this guy, and we will learn his name, and that'll be part of housekeeping next week. I'll update on his name. But anyway, so the whole time we've been going, we thought he was gay because we like frequenting gay establishments. Yeah. We want to go where the gay people are. And
which is funny because a lot of the staff is, I believe, LGBT plus.
Yeah, there's a lot of like queer kids and trans people.
Yeah, I feel like it's a pretty welcoming place.
Yeah, we're like the Little Mermaid, but for gay people, And so we want to go where the gay people are, and so it just makes it, I don't know, more comfortable. Yeah. Like we can just literally be ourselves in there, knowing that the manager and the staff and a lot of the clientele are gay, because then we don't have to worry about that part of our lives.
Support people who support us.
Exactly. So this whole year that this Chipotle's been open, we've just assumed this manager was gay, and we kind of treated him as such. And then last week we were in Chipotle getting dinner, and we were like pretty much the only ones there. We walked right in, walked straight up to the thing. The manager doesn't really like put bowls together, but he's always kind of restocking the food and cleaning and just getting everything together. And so he was standing by the tortilla press where they make the burritos. And he was like, "Hey guys, great to see you. How's your week been?" That's when he talked to Rob about the video game. And then all of a sudden he was like, "My wife plays a lot of games." And we both kind of just froze and like looked at each other.
I didn't want to react because I felt bad. Like I was just, but like I was legitimately, it was like a little bit of like, oh.
Yeah. And we both like did just that like kind of 1 second freeze, and we were like, "Oh,
yeah, we love that too."
Yeah, that's a fun game. We love playing that game. And we kind of just made our bowls and our burritos, and we checked out and we got our sodas and we moved along. And as soon as we got to the car, we got in the car and we closed the door. And Rob and I both, almost like comedically timing, we both went, "Wife." It was so funny. And I mean, I feel like we've all done that, where especially gay guys, we just assume everyone's gay. So whenever someone drops a word like that to go the other direction, we always go, "Wife." I've been doing it on TikTok. I keep seeing all these like fitness guys and stuff on TikTok that I thought were gay for the longest time. And then they'll be like, "My wife." And I was like, "Wife." It just happened with them. On CBS Sunday Morning, no. It happened on John Oliver. They were doing a segment on buying houses and mortgages and stuff, and this guy was just...
Oh, yeah.
This guy was gay as the day is long. He was so gay. And he was like, I just want to pay off my student loans and get a mortgage, and I just want to buy a house and start a family. And I was talking to my wife about having kids, and I was like, "Wife?" Like, literally. And look, I get it. Men can, marry women that are possibly trans, queer, non-binary. Maybe he has a highly feminine male husband that he chooses to call wife. Like, just saying the word wife doesn't mean someone's straight. I get that. But it was just kind of shocking when he was like, "My wife," and we were like, "Why?"
But even this way, because like I think we've talked about this probably, or maybe it's just more with like friends before, because this would be a weird conversation for us to have. I have terrible gaydar, like absolutely terrible. Bad. Like people could literally be tearing my pants off, and I would be like, "Why are you
a
here?
doctor?
Like what is happening? Are you interested or curious?" Like I've I mean, obviously that there hasn't been anything that's been applicable to in forever since I've been with Todd now for forever.
But also like when they have like visual cues of like, I don't know, they're wearing a rainbow pin and they have like
the allies mullet. The allies have made it tricky. They've made it very tricky. But no, in general, like I also just have absolutely just shit gaydar. Like someone could be hitting on me extremely overtly, and I'm just like, "Duh."
I will say, in the grand scheme of this situation, you're the better person because you're not judging anyone and you're not making assumptions about anyone. Meanwhile, I'm like, "Gay, that's gay. That's a gay haircut, gay clothes, gay person. He's got gay eyes." Like I just do it.
No, well, I mean, that's the thing where I feel like, well, I'm just so bad at judging that like I think I've given up because it's blown up in my face like twice, and I'm like, we're not doing that anymore. And but yeah, it's like even then, I think we've talked a lot about this, about like my identity and relationship with being gay was complicated for a long time because I didn't really understand how I fit into what I thought was the stereotypes until I kind of realized that no, I could just be me, like, and that's fine. But I kind of needed a few role models that I saw that were actually still people that I saw, myself in, that were also gay that, you know, just kind of I found out later in the, you know, down the line or whatever. But,
well, it's kind of funny because, you know, the Q, or one of the Qs in LGBTQ is was for a long time questioning, and that I feel like you were one of the true questioning people. Like that's kind of how your coming out journey started.
yeah, I mean, I came out at 21, like late 21. So
And you started with questioning.
yeah, oh no, definitely. You know, always had, I think, some ideas, but yeah, definitely like was very curious.
Meanwhile, I was 8 and madly in love with Ricky Schroeder, and I was like, something's happening here, something's going on here. And then, you know, when I was 15, I wanted to be best friends with Madonna, and it was like cruel that I wasn't. So I knew for a long time that I was gay.
But it's funny, I bet if you asked any of my family, they're like, oh yeah, we knew long before. But I mean, yeah, it took me a minute.
Yeah, I mean, the only sign I would have is that you had beautiful frosted tips when you were 17.
But also, I lived in Southern California in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So
you had
everyone did.
eyebrow piercing and beautiful frosted tips.
No, I didn't have an eyebrow. I had no facial piercings in high school. I did not get my facial piercings till I was 20.
Oh.
Like, no, I had cartilage and mid-ear piercings, though.
Are those... So Rob's mom has a beautiful portrait of Rob in her hallway. It's
my senior photo.
Is that a senior picture?
It's my senior photo.
It's, you know, the tuxedo, just gorgeous frosted tips. He looks like a beautiful little surfer boy.
Well, and
there's a piercing in that picture, isn't there?
Yeah, I have a cartilage piercing, a
That's
ring.
what it is.
Well, and it's funny because like that photo, if you did not know that I am a small man, I could be 6'4", captain of the football team. You have no idea. Like
chiseled jaw.
It's a bust shot. So yeah, I just look like this beefy, strong jawed man. You know, and yeah, I was very like 18.
Well, yeah, and like
surfer boy.
Rob didn't start,
surfer boy.
You didn't have a beard or body hair until you were like 25. So.
No, I had body hair. Like I'm wearing a tuxedo. And I was shaving, but I didn't have like this.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely had like the dirty, terrible mustache. But if it grew out,
I mean,
it was there.
maybe, but like in that picture, I feel like you don't even have a 5 o'clock shadow.
No, like my skin was still pretty clear. But like I actually had a solid like chest.
I mean,
you
were like full on Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Like you just had the square jaw and the beautiful frosted tips. And
it is funny. I was such like a all-American kind of like ish. It was very strange. And so it's funny if you see me now and you see like any photos of me like 20 years ago, it's like, well, who was that? That is a different person.
Well, and we've talked about it. Like if we had met when we were 21, we would not be a couple today.
No.
We had to meet when we met for us to work.
Yeah.
But also, I'm 2 years older than him, but if we were the same age in high school, I would have been madly in love with you. You were beautiful. You were beautiful. I don't know what happened.
Thank you. I don't know what happened either. No, like seriously, it's like because one of the other photo I often like pull out just to be like, hey, want to see something crazy? Is like my passport photo from when I was 16.
I was going to say your first passport photo.
It is one of the best photos of me ever taken, and honestly, like I look like such a heartthrobby teen at the time.
I mean, it's giving who's the poor guy that died from Fast and Furious?
Paul Walker.
It's giving Paul Walker. I mean, seriously, beautiful.
Well, if you like my first driver's license photo, I'm wearing like a Hawaiian print shirt and I am like coffee bean brown. I am so tan at that time. I don't know what I was doing, but I was outdoors all the time, apparently.
You're my favorite thing. You were a hot gay nerd. It's God's greatest creation. Hot gay nerd.
Didn't know it at the time.
Seriously. Yeah. Beautiful face, obsessed with The Simpsons, wore Hawaiian shirts every day. Adorable. This perfection.
Yeah, it was Hawaiian prints and giant corduroys, giant wide whale cords. It was the style at the time.
I was gonna say, but it was also 1999.
Yes, it was. It was the late 90s, early aughts.
But yeah, so that was our kooky, funny Chipotle story of us discovering that the entire relationship we had with our Chipotle manager
was in our heads.
It was in our heads. We made it all up.
Yeah,
yeah. So, that was the other thing, because at one point, like, you know, this is just a joke, but we were like, I bet he's going to ask us to be a third. Like, it was giving that energy.
Yeah, we were getting flirty vibes. Well, and this is...
He was flirting.
Well, and this is funny. It would not have been the first time that a staff member at Chipotle has propositioned me or a couple I've been in. Like, that is actually funny, because when we lived in LA...
our manager at the Grove.
Yeah, I've had actually several Chipotle employees who've had big crushes on me, and like one literally propositioned me at one point. So like, yeah, it's very actually really flattering. You know,
I love that we like are regulars at Chipotle's. Like, you know, back in the day, people our age were regulars at the country club, and they knew all the servers and managers' names, and then
or maybe a diner, like us at Swingers back in the day.
Yeah. Or maybe, you know, like an Applebee's or TGI Fridays, like when I worked at Applebee's.
Fast casual now.
Yeah, we're Chipotle regulars, and we got to learn that guy's name. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We got to learn that guy's name. But having said that, that was our fun Chipotle story. I think it's time to move on to our final segment, which is What's Your Order? What's your order? I just have to grab my trusty blue Rip and Dip box, shoebox filled with America's favorite fast food restaurants, but there's only a handful left because we're almost out. Like I said, I got to restock. But yeah, let's draw out a restaurant and say what our order is. Nurse? Oh, are you going to Julia Roberts me every single time? I got Pretty Woman. Okay, he closed the shoebox lid. All right, and today's restaurant is Footpaw Taco Bell. I mean, this is pretty much McDonald's last week and Taco Bell this week are our biggest fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
Outside of Chipotle.
Which, I mean, thank God there's a Taco Bell that's like drivable, instead of just taco time.
We are next to the Kin Taco Bell of Seattle that is famous kind of on TikTok for having exorbitantly expensive prices.
Stadium pricing or
it's Disneyland and airport pricing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's insane.
It is what was it? It was $4.99 for a small side at KFC. So a small side of mac and cheese or a small side of mashed potatoes and gravy or coleslaw. $4.99.
Yeah, $5.
I realized
livid.
I'd already paid and we got 2 additional ones and I'd already paid and just was like, yep, sure, bring it up, let's go. And as I'm driving, I look at the receipt and I was just like, holy crap, that's the last time we're doing that.
Yeah.
But
and it sucks because it's our only Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Anywhere. There was one in Ballard, but right after we moved,
they shut it down,
tore it down
in record time.
So
I think
fast.
There's already a building that's been sprouted up.
Yeah, there's condos on top of it. So that's our only Kentucky Fried Chicken, which I think I've talked about before. But Taco Bell, luckily we have a beautiful drive-through Taco Bell. Our Taco Bell in LA, no drive-through. No drive-through. We lived close to the one on Beverly by the Beverly Center.
It was so weird. Well, and also it was just so full of crazy people because no drive-through, you have to go in there. But it's crazy. So the one that we go to now is kind of a high volume one because it's right next to a high school. Mm-hmm. And so honestly, I think that they're doing really well just because they're good at high volume. They're good with crowds.
It's on a very big open main street, so it's not hard to get in and out of. It's really easy.
Yeah. Well, and plus they deal with order ahead well with mobile orders. Although I have to say, back when we lived in Kirkland, when we first moved to Seattle, the Taco Bell there. The Taco Bell experience, do you remember that
nicest thing? Taco Bell on the planet.
It's almost worth driving across the water to go there.
The staff, so sweet.
Everything you order. Do you want to add sour cream to that? Do you want to double the meat? They are just hey,
and never
how can
messed
we help?
Up. Never messed up.
Yeah.
Never asked questions. Never said slow down. Never made you wait.
They killed it on custom
Literally,
orders.
everything was perfect, and they were so polite.
And for me, this was the best part because I love watching things happen. I'm a person who leans and watches the washing machine fill up.
Yeah, Rob loves a visible kitchen.
Yeah, and so while you're driving up to get to the window to pick up your stuff, you can literally see the line because the line has a window. Yeah, and so you can see them building everything.
Yeah, the building line is up against
cool.
the window of the drive-thru. So if you're sitting there waiting to pull up to the window, you can see everything get made.
Dinner and a show.
You can see your order get made because I'm that's my tacos. That's happening right now.
Yeah, and also, and just the staff there was so on it. It was incredible. It's the best Taco Bell experience I think probably ever.
And one of my favorite things in life ever happened there, which was we got to break a pay it forward.
Oh,
Remember when we broke that pay it forward? And it was serendipitous because I had just seen a TikTok saying how pay it forwards are really bad. They don't help anyone. It's fake. I don't want to say
Good
charity.
Samaritanism.
Yeah, it's fake Good Samaritanism. It doesn't do anything for anyone.
Frustrates the staff.
And so it frustrates the staff. So we got up to the window and he was like, hey, the people in front of you paid for your order. They're doing a pay it forward. You're 50th in the chain. Do you want to keep it going? And without even breathing, I said, nope. And I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, we got to break a pay it forward.
Did the staff guy thank us?
No, I think he was trying to go for a goal.
Oh.
I think he was trying to make a TikTok or something. We weren't filmed or anything, but I think he was going for the story because he was excited that it was up over, I think it was 50 or 60. And he was like, do you want to keep it going? We're like, nope, babe, we got dinner for free.
Yeah, let's go.
And our order is almost always over $35-$40 now.
Seriously. Well, it's just fast food's expensive and I can pack it away.
Yeah. Taco Bell is the easiest. So let's get
into it.
Let's get into our orders. Clearly we're very passionate about Taco Bell. So Why don't you go first?
Well, I shake it up a lot, but it's often depending on what they have seasonally. If they got nacho fries, I'm getting nacho fries. But when it comes to the regulars, I shake it up between Crunchwrap Supremes. I also like the cheesy gordita crunch, but I'm a customizer, so I swap out the spicy ranch for nacho cheese. Doritos Locos Tacos are basically big salt bombs, but they are delicious and I love them. I like a spicy potato soft taco. There's a cheap burrito thing that comes with like sour cream, beef, and tortilla strips. And then the last thing I will say, and this is because like I tend to shake it up and just get like usually around 5 or 6 across any of those.
Yeah.
The thing that Taco Bell needs to bring back, and I'm very upset that it does not come back seasonally like everything else does, the naked chicken chalupa.
So good.
Oh my God. So yeah, all that is basically a flat breaded piece of chicken that they heat up and fold like a taco.
Yeah, they turn a chicken patty into a taco.
It's the tortilla
shell.
And inside of it is literally just shredded lettuce and tomatoes and like a hot sauce. They did the first time they did like an orange one that was like super hot, and they did a green one that was kind of less hot, and they were both delicious. And when they brought it back, they only brought back the green, which was the less good one, but either way it was incredible. The chicken was so good, and like when they had that, I think I was going there like 3-4 times a week because I was like, I have to get this before it goes away.
Yeah, we did get it a lot.
Oh, it got to the point where I got in the car and my iPhone was like, it is 4 minutes to Taco Bell. And I was like, I did not say I was going to Taco Bell.
Oh,
phone.
yeah, that's right.
It's when the iPhones were starting to recognize patterns and you're driving and slightly read you if they thought they were helping you.
Because
but
the
you
Taco
were
Bell
like,
on Fountain,
it was on the way home.
The Taco Bell on Vine in LA was on his way home from his office at the time.
So I'd stop and get dinner all the time because it was an easy drive-through. and yeah, and like my phone's like, oh, it's this far to Taco Bell. I'm like, F off, phone.
Get rid.
Thanks. Seriously.
Oh,
How about
I miss
you, baby?
that chicken. I miss that chicken.
Oh, it's so good.
That's the other thing. F you, Taco Bell. You're doing the Trader Joe's thing. You keep experimenting with our feelings. You bring out things that are so delicious and serve them for a day, and then they're sold out, and you never bring them back. Like the wings. I loved the wings. They were so good. I got to try them once. I got the last order in the restaurant, and then they never brought them back. I'm like, God damn it, Taco Bell. Stop toying with our emotions.
Seriously, killing us.
Luckily, the outcry of the people worked because my favorite thing is the Mexican pizza. I always love the Mexican pizza. And when it went away, I was mad. I was mad. I was like, we can't eat a Taco Bell anymore. I don't want to go back. I'm mad. This is pissing me off. But luckily, Mexican pizzas came back and they're permanent on the menu. So I usually, I'll either get the Nacho Bel Grande meal, which comes with 2 Taco Supremes, I think.
Yeah.
And so that's almost always my go-to because I just love nachos. I love nachos.
One of those Taco Supremes usually comes to me.
Yeah, because I usually get too much food. And so the extra Taco Supremes from the meal deal are kind of, bonus food that I just throw at Rob. But I'll get the meal deal of the nachos, and then I'll either add a Mexican pizza, which is almost always, or a Crunchwrap Supreme. Like Rob said, if they have nacho fries, if it's nacho fries season, which again, bullshit, stop making it seasonal.
Although the nacho fry season has become like 9 months of the year.
Yeah, they're extending it. I don't think it's the full year yet, but it's close.
At this point, it's more nacho fries than not.
Yeah.
I'd say throughout the year.
And so, yeah, I will get nacho fries if they're available. I also will experiment with the flavor of the month special nacho fry component. Like I'll get actual nacho fry or nachos made with fries instead of chips. Because I always do like a delicious spicy nacho fry nachos.
Yeah, steak with truff.
Yeah, or the nacho fry burrito. Like I'll usually get whatever is on special. I love a good special.
Well, seriously, and it is one of those where like hopefully with enough support they'll bring some stuff back. I mean, the Crunch Wrap was special at one point.
I feel like they're experimenting with that. Yeah. And so this all boils down to please vote, especially in your local elections,
right?
AKA for the chicken at Taco Bell, so it comes back and people know, the higher ups know that we want it because it's delicious.
We're in support of the chicken.
But yeah, so and then when it's not nacho fry season, I will get cheesy fiesta potatoes, which is just the little square like home fried potatoes with nacho cheese and sour cream in a little bowl. So delicious. You'll get both.
I've started getting those. I basically almost always end up with at least one potato dish.
Yeah.
But if it's fry season, I often end up with 2 potato dishes.
You'll get cheesy fiesta potatoes and nacho fries because you've never met a potato you didn't like.
Really, I mean, it's like a piece of bread. It just it's the other carb.
Well,
Giddy.
and the final thing about Taco Bell, especially here in Seattle, if you're not familiar, is our Taco Bell is in Ballard. They have a city ordinance where you can't have any single-use plastics at all, especially at the fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
So, like at McDonald's, our nuggets come in little paper bags. They don't come in nugget boxes and stuff.
Fries come in little bags too.
Fries
instead of
come
like
in
the
little
cardboard
bags. Yeah, there's like no
sleeves.
cardboard unless it's like that brown recycled kind of composting cardboard.
Yeah.
So at Taco Bell, everything comes in cardboard. And if you get like a side of nacho cheese, it comes in a tiny little cardboard cup with a lid.
Yeah, biocompostable, cardboard lidded.
Yeah.
It's very cute, but it also feels like it absorbs half of the cheese that goes in it somehow.
It's a very absorbent cardboard.
It's
so,
very
yeah.
strange.
And then it becomes this like weird texture where you're like scraping your fry against the side, and it's kind of like nails on a chalkboard almost. It's just like, ugh.
It's still better than a paper straw in your mouth.
Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, paper straws.
Yeah.
But our McDonald's has started using veggie plastic. So McDonald's has plastic straws again, which is
the plastic biocompostable, whatever. Yeah.
biodegradable. Compostable.
Yeah, or like commercially compostable. There's so many different classifications for this stuff.
Right.
But
It's all gobbledygook.
it's green bin material to me.
Yeah. But now that we live in a neighborhood where we have a garden and a really great composting, what do I want to say? Program. There we go.
Yeah.
I found the word. You can tell we're almost done. I'm out of words. But yeah, we have a really good composting program. So Rob enjoys throwing pizza boxes and Taco Bell trash into the compost bin. It's
I
fun.
sort trash now.
Yeah. See,
This is middle age.
exactly. Your 40s are so exciting and fun.
You become a regular at Chipotle and you sort garbage.
And having said that, I think that's been another great episode.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, except for that harsh realization at the end. But yes.
Yeah. Let's go. I don't know. What can we do to make us feel young? Should we go streaking? Let's go streaking through the quad.
I was thinking I need a nap. But that's
Perfect.
That's
Let's
the
go take
exact
naps.
opposite, but it will be nice.
Let's go take naps. But well, thank you guys so much for listening to another fun Gay Fat Friend and Friends episode. And Robbie, thank you for coming back to be a permanent guest host.
Thank you for having me. I'm going to keep thanking you for having me because I still do feel like this is kind of like The Bachelor, and it's like, will I get a rose for next week? Will I be
Right?
back?
There could be a time I actually make a friend and have a
Right.
guest that isn't you.
Then it's become the Todd's Choice Awards, where all
Fingers
of a sudden I'm going to be the Susan Lucci of those and never win ever again.
You're always going to be on the hook for the podcast, and then a friend is going to come.
Oh my
over.
God, I'm like that person who always gets bumped from a late night slot. Wasn't there a person like who?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel always makes fun of Matt Damon and always says like, "Sorry to Matt Damon, we ran out of time."
Yeah, wait to bump you. It's like I feel like there's always that person though who gets bumped from late night, and I feel like that's about to be me.
Yeah. But well, thanks all around, and let us know what your Taco Bell order is. And even though I'm currently dieting, I kind of want to go get Taco Bell now, but we're not going to do it anyway. I love you guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. All right, goodbye.
Bye.